my parents raised two generations. I had older siblings because during the First World War, my dad was in America and mother was in Europe. So I had four older siblings. When Dad came home in 1918, they were still young and they started a second family. And I was number in the middle of the three. There was no visible anti-Semitism. The businesses flourished. But unfortunately, I wound up only with an 8th grade education because of Hitler. One incident in school, two of my best friends got into a fight, young. And one of those friends, her father came from really was a Czech official. And she did not want to identify herself as Jewish. So the two girls got into a fight, and one called the other, "You dirty Jew." My biggest hardship was I was born with a dislocated hip. And that made me difficult, and that was a hardship in those early years. It was a busy, successful business family, and being the second, we became pets of the older siblings. I had a brother who was 20 years older. And as I remember in the later years, if they were proud of us and liked us, the mother used to say, "You wanted to kill her when she was born, and I want to play with her," because there was a 20-year-old difference. Father came home in 1918. He came back to America twice, and eventually he had business in Europe and a business in Cleveland, Ohio. And all of a sudden, he developed a melanoma, got cancer, and he wanted to come back. He had part of the family already here. Arrangements were made for us, sort of the second generation, that two were married and doing well in Europe, and miners and mothers, he was going to bring us out. And that's where all the plans, father got cancer and Hitler came in, and that's when I was introduced to hardship. The Jewish law started affecting us, couldn't go back, no loft school. I would have been I had college potential. They had the means of sending me away to college, and father getting cancer, and Hitler coming in, and the Jewish laws, for instance, about closing out, having to close, to not be allowed to close the businesses on the Sabbath. If you close on Sabbath, you can't open on Sunday. Livelihood started being difficult. So like good little Eastern European Jews, the rabbis got together, and it was very difficult decisions to start working on the Sabbath. And they got together and made a ruling for the region. If they had a young one in the family who could be responsible, the youngest in the family, who could be responsible to open the store. At that point, I was in 1938, I was already 16 years old, and I was the designated Shabbos goy. we opened the store. I opened the store, and in the restrictions, we could no longer go to school. We couldn't go to a movie. The entire life was totally disrupted, and that's where the anti-Semitism came in, and it was with me until Auschwitz and thereafter. And my sister found a young man. She fell in love with him. In order to come to America, I consider myself being Czech, and got an apartment, and we were a short community making our way to the west of Germany, where the Americans were. That if and things started getting bad for the fledgling government, and and Russia closed up. Russia became a threat. Don't give up. Life has good and bad, and you have to. In my case, I am a survivor of the war, not a Holocaust survivor. I wouldn't be defeated if I didn't have a German gun over me.